Welcome. You're watching Rugby with Rifle, a podcast about all things rugby and life, with your host, Danny Pabone and Rifle Scudder.
Welcome to Rugby with Rifle, a podcast about all things rugby and life. As always, I'm joined here with my friend Rifle. Rifle, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. Thank you, Danny. How about yourself?
Doing well, doing well. Excited to talk about our topic today on the episode is going to be the 2026 Nations Championship. And this is the inaugural year for this series here. And it's a lot of exciting stuff because, again, if you're new to rugby and new to the channel, the way international rugby is split up is you pretty much have the northern hemisphere teams and the southern hemisphere teams, and then in past years you had this rugby championship, which are played in the summer months here in United States. And then you have the premier northern hemisphere series, which is the Six Nations, which six powerhouse northern hemisphere teams play against each other in February and March. So essentially, what this series is going to do is bring the southern hemisphere teams and the northern hemisphere teams play each other in the summer this year. So it's very exciting stuff. Looking forward to this summer where we have northern hemisphere powerhouses taking on southern hemisphere powerhouses in the world of rugby. So it's very excited to watch this series this summer.
Yeah, they chop and change so much, different
Mm.
leagues and different nations. So for me, sometimes it's difficult to stay on track as to who's playing who in what competition and why they're doing that. So, it was very, very easy when you had just the Southern Hemisphere playing against each other.
Mhm.
And whether we had it back when I was younger, we had the Tri Nations, which was South Africa, New Zealand, Australia, and then later adding Argentina in there, but that was just the southern hemisphere playing one another, just like the northern hemisphere have their Six Nations. I mean, that Six Nations is the oldest competition, sports competition that there is. So
Mm.
it's just a tradition, when it's happening, just don't mess with it. We understand it, we know what's happening. And now they've gone and messed the whole summer up because now South Africa, we're hosting the Northern Hemisphere and then later we go back there. So it's like, oh my goodness, I've literally just got to go to the calendar and see what day, who's playing who and enjoy the game. It's too much now, points and what position you are in the world and, all of that. So just for me now, it's just enjoy the game, enjoy the rugby, see who's playing who on that day and have fun.
Yeah, yes, it is. And the thing about it, Rifle, is again learning the game of rugby over the past couple of years, and you introducing me to the Six Nations, and then also introducing me to the Rugby Championship over the past couple of years. Um, Fans of rugby look forward to these two competitions, and just watching the games, you see the fans, just it's a big deal in the rugby world when watching the Six Nations and watching the rugby championship every year. Um, and essentially, what this, like you said, what this uh, nations championship does is you're essentially um, taking the teams from Six Nations and putting them on the field together with the teams of the rugby championship. However, rugby championship was between four teams, which was Argentina, Australia, New Zealand, and South Africa. However, in the southern hemisphere, Japan and Fiji have joined the fray in the Southern Hemisphere. So those six Southern Hemisphere teams are going to be playing the Northern Hemisphere teams, which are the teams that play in the Six Nations. And it's very interesting because pretty much this competition, rifle, is split up into two parts. You have the July matches, in which the Northern Hemisphere teams travel to the South, and the Southern Hemisphere teams are hosts. And then you have a break, and then in the November matches, if it switches where the Southern Hemisphere teams travel to the North, and the Northern Hemisphere teams are the play hosts for the matches in November, and then again, you also have the Autumn Nations series as well. So I'm assuming that these games are gonna replace some of those games. So it's like you said, a lot of changes in the world of rugby this year. But hey, I'm excited for it, and these games are gonna be, I'm sure, are gonna be great to watch.
Yeah, I mean, we've been waiting now since the last international rugby we had was the Six Nations. And I mean, when that is finished, because you've had 6 weeks of absolute just Saturday and Sunday after Saturday and Sunday watching rugby, and it's so exciting. And then when that
Yes.
finishes,
Yeah.
even though club rugby is good, it's not international, and
Mhm.
you've got to wait now for this. So this is just around the corner. So this is very exciting, and every nation now, gets to screen for their country. So yeah, looking forward to that for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah. And the other thing, and we could just get to the schedule. Um, get to the schedule here is, and we've spoken about this before, is the rugby calendar is quite tough because I'm just thinking about this is, if you're a player that plays for your club level team, but you also play for the national team, it's a lot of rugby to be played in a year. Uh, so yeah, I mean, it's good for the fans, but very tough for the players.
Very much so. And even if you don't make the national side, but you are good enough, or maybe you're knocking at the door, you're going to be training. You're going to be still, even though you're not in a team. I mean, you're going to be watching every calorie you put into your body. You're going to stay fit. You're going to, so, we say they take a break, but there are very few players that actually, take a break, because the ones that are playing for this team, they're just busy all the times. But the ones that play for their clubs and want to try and get into the national team, they're working just as hard, if not harder, to try and make people notice them. So they got to be 100% should anything happen or they get a call, to be ready to go. So it's just, it's tough on the bodies all around. Doesn't matter whether you're playing or whether you want to play, you're training.
Yeah, yep. It's nonstop for a professional athlete.
Yeah.
Um, although from my perspective, I mean, obviously, as a professional, you want to play for your nation. But if you don't, and all you got to do is work out, then I guess that's kind of a break. At least you're not getting tackled or hit hard
Yeah.
when you're working out. At least, well, I don't know how rugby players practice, but I'd rather be
Everything
working
different.
out than getting tackled all the time.
Yeah.
So again, for this inaugural uh, Nations Championship series, again, this is the first year that this series is going to occur. Um, we have the July matches, rounds 1 through 3. Again, um, the the Southern Hemisphere teams are going to be playing hosts for the July matches, and just looking at these matches, rifle here is seems like every single game is going to be a great game.
Huge, yeah. There's not a game where if you want to on the first, July 4th, if you take Japan, Italy,
Yes.
you can say maybe that's not, they know not the world champions, never won, if you take that. But even if I look at that, if I remember how well Italy did in the Six Nations,
Hmm.
they beat England. I mean, so they're coming off an extreme high. They did so well. So they want to improve. And Japan also wants to prove to the world that they can be counted with the big boys and they're really there to play. They're not just a small little country concerning rugby anymore. So even that, where it's not, New Zealand or Australia or Ireland, it's still going to be a great game. And
Yeah.
those guys are going to give everything. So even maybe the crowds won't be that attracted as what they would, for example, New Zealand, France.
Hmm.
What a huge game that's going to be. It's still, I think, going to be a great experience.
Yeah. And then you also have their Fiji, Wales.
Wales and Fiji, yeah.
Again, two more teams that are fighting to improve. As we know, Wales, I believe, getting their first win in the Six Nations. Their first win in what, 3 or 4 years?
Yeah.
Forget how many years was
22,
since.
22 losses in a row. So yeah, something like that. So they also coming off that winning streak, winning game, and wanting to prove that it wasn't just fluke. They want to do better.
Yes, and also having, oh well, the coach has been with them for almost a year now. So the
Yeah.
coach Steve Tandy is looking to turn the Welsh team around, hopefully this year, and going
Yes.
into the World Cup as well. So shall see.
Yeah.
And then again, just round two. Uh, I guess just looking at the schedule here, the biggest game in round two. I mean, you have Australia, France. Australia, as we've spoken before, has their moments where they look great, and then has their moments where they look not so great.
Yeah.
Um, you have South Africa, Scotland. Interesting with Scotland is Scotland had a chance to win, was in the running to win the Six Nations, but France said no, thank you. We'll take it again. France squashed the Scottish
Dreams.
dreams. But it's like you always say, it's always good to be in a position where you control the outcome, man. Another team
Exactly.
doesn't
Yeah.
control the outcome.
Yeah. Depends on you and nobody else.
Yes. And then just seeing here round three, just New Zealand, Ireland, that's gonna be a big
Huge.
game.
Yeah.
Uh and pretty much that's probably the game in round three. And
But then we
see
got
South.
England, Argentina as well, eh?
Yes. Argentina, as we've spoken many times, uh, Argentina, they've given all the top teams, they've beat all pretty much essentially all the top teams in the world, and
Have.
you can never count them out. I'm still going back to that. What was it? The Argentina Scotland game where
Scotland,
Scotland was up
yes.
three
Yes.
tries.
Yeah. Autumn Nations last year, yeah.
Yes, that was a great thing to see. And then also when Argentina play England the following week, made a comeback, and I thought it was going to be two weeks in a row where they make a huge comeback and win. But England at the end pulled it out,
Yeah.
pulled it off, and were able to hold Argentina back and got the win. So these are the July matches, and then obviously the November matches. The November matches. The Northern Hemisphere teams are gonna be playing hosts, and we see here rounds 4, through 4 through 6, with the very last game being before they had, because the interesting about this and about this series rifle is after all these games are played, then essentially they're gonna have a playoff in this series. So I found that very interesting, where this series essentially is going to be like a club level league type of system where you have matches, and then after the matches are played, then you're going to have some sort of playoff as well. So it's very interesting to see this type of setup for this specific series. Round four is split up. I'm trying to look at just picking which game is going to be the biggest game of the round. I guess New Zealand, Scotland, depending on
I
what
think
Scotland does.
Argentina, Ireland,
Oh, Argentina, Ireland.
Argentina, Ireland. I think that's going to be big too.
Yes, I missed that one.
So,
So
yeah,
yeah, so pretty big game. I mean, then you have England, Australia. Again, Australia, you never know what you're gonna get with Australia. You never know if you're gonna get, you know, just going back to the, my mind is going blank here. The British and
championship
Irish
Lions, yeah.
Lions tour, where Australia, they had a good series with the British Irish Lions. And then again, inconsistency, unfortunately, for the Australian team. We have round five here. France, South Africa is going to obviously be a huge game in
Yeah,
round five. Let's see, Ireland, Fiji, Scotland, Australia. So yeah,
Scotland,
probably
Australia
that.
could be good. Yeah, that could be good.
Yep. And then round six, we have England and New Zealand,
Huge.
uh, Ireland, South Africa, quite a few games. France, Argentina. Again, Argentina, you never could count them out. They're always playing hard from beginning to end. So yeah, again, a lot, a lot of great games to be played in this again inaugural year of the Nations Championship. And then once all that is done, then you have what's called the finals weekend, Friday 27th of November, Saturday 28th, and Sunday the 29th, where you have the different rankings. So six, whoever is in sixth place at the end of the series in the northern hemisphere plays the sixth place team in the southern hemisphere, and then so on. So yeah, it's very exciting stuff.
Am I seeing this correctly? That's Friday the 27th. I don't know. I don't have a calendar here, but would that be just the day after Thanksgiving?
Ah, that is interesting.
Can you
Yes.
imagine all that turkey and the next day you just have to lie in front of the TV and watch rugby? Oh my goodness.
I
That's
think
going to
that
be
is.
something.
I think that is. You are correct. That's what in the shopping world what's called the Black
Black
Friday.
Friday. Yeah, there we go.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I think so, because the Friday before that is the 20th, so the 19th. So it's Thanksgiving the 26th, or is it Thanksgiving the 19th this year?
It's always the last, so it should be the
Yes.
26th.
So I believe, yeah, you're correct.
So
You
that's
are
that's a
correct.
double whammy. That's great.
Yes. You eat turkey, and the following day you watch rugby.
There you go. Something to look forward to.
So, 4:40, I believe that's local time. England, because all the play, what I call playoff games, are going to be in Twickenham, the famous rugby stadium in England. So 4:40. So that's England is what, 5 hours from us Eastern time. So that's
It
11:40.
depends on the daylight savings.
Oh yes,
So I think we've turned back then. So I think 5 or 6 hours. So it depends on, so it should be, I'm probably wrong here, but 6 hours, I think.
Oh yes, yes, you are correct. I keep forgetting the daylight
Yeah.
savings time. So we uh, is it six? Because if we push 1 hour forward, wouldn't that be 4 hours? Because
I don't
usually it's
think
five.
it's, yeah, I don't think it's five. It might be 6 and 7. So the six then with a
Okay.
change, but that's a mathematical question, Danny, and I don't do that.
Like with us Americans, we're switching times daily. So we always got to do something different.
Exactly. So I'll just, when it comes, I'll see what channel, what time, and I'll watch. I'm not going to sit
Yes.
and argue about an hour or something like that. That's too much for me.
Yes, we still have time to figure it out.
Exactly, especially after all the turkey. So it'll be good.
So yeah, a lot of exciting stuff to come with this Nations Championship Series. Again, first year that this competition is going to be played. Uh, you know, me being used to Rugby Championship and the Art of Nation Series. I mean, any rugby fan that's been following the game of rugby the whole life, like you, Rifle, I don't know. I would say it's probably excited that they chose to create this Nations Championship Series because now you have great teams from the North competing against great teams from the South. So a lot of exciting rugby to come.
Yes, looking forward to that indeed.
So, with that, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this episode, which we just briefly covered the Nations Championships series, first year, and hopefully the first of many, because I don't see how this series is not going to be successful, being that you're putting great teams from both hemispheres playing up against each other. I don't see how this series is not going to be successful.
Yeah, it'll be good.
So, with that, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this episode. And Rifle, thank you as always. And
You're very welcome, Danny.
until next time, everyone, take care.
Cheers, everyone.
Thank you for watching this episode of Rugby with Rifle. Remember to press the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet to support this podcast.